Hello, welcome to Sabretooth and Nethemba, where we care about your security. Technically now I'm back from holiday, or at least I will be when this comes out, but I want to do a bit of a buffer because I won't be able to record immediately, so the next box, this one, and maybe the next as well, will be, again, on the easier side. Then we're really going to start digging into these insane or hard level ones on Hack the Box and so on. We're on Kiba on Try Hack Me. I'm not reading the description, I've been told not to, but we can see here that it's an easy level box, 45 minutes, that's all we need to know. Also, Rick said don't go too low because the questions are, it's not just what is root and what is user text or whatever, right? As well as that, Rick has also told me don't go to port 80, it will spoil things. I'm not sure how it will spoil things because at the end of the day, it's a box, it's a port open on the system I'm trying to hack. So unless it's got a full walkthrough on port 80, I don't see the problem. However, I'm going to follow his advice and check port 80 at the end. I need to remember to do this. The amount of times I say I'm going to do stuff and then I just forget is unreal. So I need to remember this. So we're going to nmap, we're going to T5, we're going to all ports, and we are going to aggressive and put in the IP. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is that's a reminder for me later because I want to see what it says, you know? Okay. Oh, joy. Looks interesting to me. So we're going to put this in here, and what we have is port 22, which is SSH, port 80, which apparently is a website, but it doesn't have a title. I'm not sure why I shouldn't check that. I guess that's not the way in then, so it's kind of a spoiler in itself, but I don't know. I'd love to check that and see what's on it. I need to remember later. 5601 ES Magent 404 request HTTP. Okay, this is a HTTP server. Interesting. Kibana server is not ready yet. It will be in a minute. I'm guessing it just takes a while to start up. So if we run this again, will it have started up at this point? Because if so, I'm going to replace these notes with the new ones. It took 20 seconds last time, so I can't imagine it taking much longer this time, you know? He says, well, it takes absolutely ages. Oh, 20 seconds. Okay. So again, we've still got this bad request Kibana, but now it's got more information here because the app has started up properly. Right. So I'll tell you what, we will take this for the notes instead of the other one. Sometimes you've got to leave it a bit for things to start up. We'll replace that here and have another look down. These are all the same except for 5044 I didn't notice last time, and 5601. It's a 404 page Kibana. This is where I would naturally look anyway, because if this box is called Kiba and there's a Kibana service running, that's obviously something to do with it, right? Okay, so it doesn't give me much more info. We will go straight there to 5601 and just see what happens, I guess. Okay, so we have this Kibana thing explore on my own. Okay, it looks like we're into some control panel without any credentials. That is interesting. Okay, so 5601 leads to Kibana instance, right? It's Kibana, isn't it? Copacabana. Instance, right. Okay. And we're already in the panel. So let's take a look around. There doesn't seem to be any data here at all. We can edit things though. Dashboards, timeline. What am I looking at? Oh, I don't know this app, by the way, at all. So I don't know this app whatsoever. Never come across it before. I've heard of it. I know it exists. That's as far as we get. Canvas. Create work pads. JSON files. Right, okay. Machine learning. Import data so we can upload log files. That could be useful. Always worth noting the upload points. I could get Burp Web Scanner on this. I try not to use like scanners like Kinetics or Burp or whatever, but when it's something like this, if I was pen testing, I would probably run a scanner just to get the endpoints, you know, so I can know where to look manually. Set up instructions. At the minute, I'm just going down every option and seeing what we've got. I'm not thinking, oh, there's an upload form, let's try uploading. I'm just creating a mind map pretty much of this web application. This is taking a while to load APM. I'll tell you what I could do. I could open that in a new tab and carry on looking whilst this is loading, although... Has it crashed? What's going on? Something's just stopped working, you know, as you do. I'm not sure whether to be patient or whether to revert the system if something's crashed. It doesn't happen on Hack the Box, it happens on Try Hack Me every time, you know. Every issue I ever have is on Try Hack Me. I'm going to stop the video. I might have to revert and go again just because it crashes just for being there, apparently. Try Hack Me logic. Okay, I'm back after reverting the system and changing the IP, and I'm waiting for this to start up. Some people have asked, not on YouTube, but on Reddit, some people have asked me whether I prefer Hack the Box or Try Hack Me. I'll tell you this much, Hack the Box is stable, really, really stable, and Try Hack Me not so much, but Try Hack Me is better for beginners, and Hack the Box is quite complex, even though easy systems are a little bit more complex than easy systems on Try Hack Me. So, well, how far down were we? Monitoring. I could turn that on. Management. Okay, we've got a version number. It might be a good idea to check for exploits for this version. So I've got a lot of stuff. I've got upload and stuff. Whilst we're here, we should probably do this first. Right, let's... search exploits. Ban. Nothing. Okay, so just because there's no exploits here doesn't mean that none exist. It could be worth a Google search, is always my next port of call. Um, 2019 7609 has come up. Well, take a look at the CVE details site and see what that says. That's quite a good reference. And again, we've got the same one, 7609. That's twice that's been mentioned. XSS, SSRF, open redirect, code execution. Before 689 and 770, what version is it? I didn't look. Oh, 654. Okay. Prototype pollution floor. An authenticated attacker. Well, we've already got access to the panel without any creds. This could possibly lead to an attacker executing code with permissions. Interesting. And this is 7013, which is a bit different to this one. I'm not sure about this. This is the same sort of thing. Code execution flaw. Oh, that's the timeline visualizer. So we've seen timeline. We saw it somewhere. There. Obviously where it says timeline, like an idiot. Nearly swore. Okay. So we've got two things here which we could look into. Is there a known exploit code which we could use straight off? It doesn't look like it. Packet storm security. I was kind of looking for a GitHub. Do you know what? I've got that in my head now. Why don't we Google so it's Python 2 scripts. I'm looking for Python 3 really. Okay. Open Kibana, paste one of the following payloads into the visualizer, click run. Reverse shell should pop. Really? Let's try it first. I'm not going to update my notes because there's so much here that could be not correct. So many different paths that until I actually start looking into one which looks likely, I'm not going to bother. So let's do that. We're listening on 1, 2, 3, 4. If we paste this into the timeline visualizer and then click on canvas, let's take a look. Visualizer, I assume it's this. Oh, hang on a minute. I assume it's this. So what we need to do is change the IP to ours. Ton zero, anybody? What's going on here? A lot of unspecified IP addresses. I need to have a check on that one. So if we do that, let's actually copy that and then hit run. And then hit canvas. No? I'm waiting for that to fully load just to make sure. It's because there's no work pads here, maybe. So that should... Run after 1 second. And go to canvas and then nothing. Pass. Okay. So let's try the other one as well. I'll do this one instead. With my IP. I may have to take a Python 2 script and convert it to Python 3, which is a bit sucky, but that's okay. Run that. I assume this is the visualizer. I mean, I might try some of these options in a moment. Oh, okay. So the second one worked. Okay. Wow. Right, now I have to actually update my notes. So, although, hang on, version according to management function is, what was it, 6.5, I can't remember, 6.5.4. 6.5.4. Search exploit shows nothing for this, but we Google and find this, and so we follow the options for this, and paste the following into timeline with our IP address in there, of course. Port 1234. That was the one which worked, wasn't it? The second one. That was the right one, wasn't it? I can't remember. I assume it was. Let's have a look. Yeah, that looks the same. Okay. And run and visit canvas. And brilliant. Get reverse shell. Perfect. Right. Okay, notes are up to date. So I had all these other options, but exploit was the way to go. I guess at least a way to go. So now we just need to root the thing. Let's see. Hang on, let's do LSL. Everything's owned by Kibana here, sorry. Kiba is what I meant to say. If we go into home and see who's here, we should be able to CD into here. Cat user.text. So it is meant to be with the remote code execution. Perfect. That's good. We like. Nice. So we'll put that in there. There's no other user though. Any cron jobs running? That's in root. Bash. Okay, so that goes into root first. There's nothing I can do about that. I mean, maybe I can replace this in home Kiba Kibana bin. The problem is, if I can replace it, it's running as Kiba, not as root, so it'll only give me a shell, the same as the user I'm already at. I think cron jobs are not the way to go here. Let's cat etc password, and then I'm going to limpies, I think, after this, just to make sure. Yeah, that is the only user, really. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's get limpies going, because, you know, because of the wonderful things he does. Priv S scripts. That's the one. So sudo python 3 m http server port 80. Grab my IP one more time. So to get IP address / limpies .chmod, and then run limp. Right. Okay. So let's actually increase the size of this a bit so we can see what's going on. Just a waiting game now and see if anything. Aha, I didn't even check sudo. I'm an idiot. However, having said that, we don't actually have Kiba's password, do we? Unless we can run something as no pass. So we'll check that out in a minute. How did I not even think of that? How did I not even think about sudo? Sometimes I forget the basics. And then it's quite a while later when I think, oh yeah, I can do that. I've got this methodology in my head, and sometimes I can't quite remember it in the order that I develop it, if that makes sense. But this is what limpies is for. Any gaps in my what I should have tried, it will tell me. So sudo is the first thing to check. So limpy shows part of sudo group. That's something to try. Part of sudo group. There we go. We are Ubuntu 16. There's quite an old version of Ubuntu running here. We've got a few exploits going. That's fine. Try not to if I can help it. Nothing interesting here. We're looking for yellow and red, really. If not, then red is useful as well. Nothing too interesting here. Ugh. Okay. So, home Kiba, Cabana, bin. Yeah, I understand that I do have rights to overwrite whatever's in here. Therefore, we can get a shell from this script, but it's going to run as Kiba, not root. So I don't care about that, even though it's yellow. I already explained that as I found it manually. What do we have here? Nothing too intriguing. Ugh. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keyrings. GitHub, okay. GPG, nope. Nope. Right. There's nothing in Suid, which is unusual. Fair enough. Capabilities. Oh. Okay. Homekeeper.hack me please. That's obviously not what we need to do, is it? Okay, well, fair enough. And it's Python 3 capabilities. We did this recently. That's fine. So this is the way to go then. Fine. Okay, well, good, I suppose. I think everything else I can just ignore pretty much. Yeah, you can see that in the bash history, it was set. Yeah, Python 3 or something was set capabilities, or something was anyway. Okay, I don't care. That's fine. Just to check, just to make sure this isn't the right path, sudo l. Oh. So Python 3 C import pty. Sorry, I've just lost my train of thought. And then pty.spawn bin bash, and this is going to give us a tty shell. Okay. So sudo l. Yeah, we need password for sudo. So that's not correct. Okay, that's fine. So part of sudo group, we don't care about that. So this version of Python 3 has capabilities set. Now let's see if we can do this from memory without having to look it up. Right, command we're going to run is import OS, and then OS set UID to 0, because UID 0 is always root. And then as root, what is it, OS system? I think so. We can start a new shell as bin bash. I could be wrong on this one, but think that's right. Who am I? Root. Perfect, as if I remember that. Okay, so we're importing the OS module into Python. Because it has the set UID capability, we can set our UID to 0, which is root. Root is always 0. So whatever's running now, we are running as root, and then we just start a new shell. That's all it is. So we're going to cat root / root.text. Fantastic. Privilege escalation user capabilities. This was all pretty much as we've done it as intended, basically. Oh, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? Copy. There we go. Lovely. Nice. I want to check port 80 before we do anything else, because why not? Where's the website? There it is. Let's just get rid of that. Go to 80. Welcome. Linux capabilities is very interesting. Right, okay. Now I understand, Rick. I get it. I understand why you didn't want me to do that, because we just know immediately what to do for root. That's a little bit lame. I understand this is an easy box, but you don't have to spell everything out, you know. Could just say, like, welcome, limpies exists. Now that is a better hint, isn't it? Because you still get the solution, but it is a little bit buried in other stuff. Right, let's get this finished. Let's get this finished. I mean, back when this was released, did limpies exist? I don't know what year this box was out. Still, whatever, it doesn't matter. What is the vulnerability that is specific to programming languages with prototype-based inheritance? Prototype something. Okay. I'm sure I read something about prototype earlier, but I can't remember what. Prototype pollution. There it is. Look. There we go. There we go. Nice. What is the version 654? What is the CVE? Well, there was a couple actually, wasn't there? But I'm going to go for... Was it this one that I used? I think so. Let's go for this one. Nice. Compromise the machine and locate user.txt. We did that. That is here. Don't care about that. I'm not even reading it because there's no point. How would you recursively list all of these capabilities? Oh, that's a good question. Get cap. I'm not sure what the flag is. I assume it's R for recursive. There we go. I'm just guessing. No, I did kind of know that. I just don't do it very often. I mean, let's do that because we're on the system, right? So... Oh, it's because I'm root. Oh, there it is. Look. There it is, right at the bottom. Oh yeah, I need to pipe it into dev null to get rid of all the errors and stuff, but there you go. Fantastic. Send all the errors to dev null, but it doesn't matter. We won't do that. Okay, nice. And then... Decent box, except for the fact that it just stopped responding and I had to revert the system. Once I reverted the system, everything was fine. I'm happy enough with that. Thank you guys for joining. Got a couple of new subscribers. I really do appreciate that. We're nearly 50-50 on the whole people watching, subscriber versus non-subscriber. We're very close to 50-50. It'd be nice to get over 50% of you subscribed. That'd be great. So please do share the video around, share the playlist around if you can. And please visit Nethemba.com for all your pen testing needs. Thank you guys. Goodbye.